heard that creativity thrives when resources are limited. I think another way you could put that is necessity is the mother of invention. Okay, do you agree or disagree with this idea in the context of IT? I'm just thinking about some of the awful, awful things I've done because I had no budget. Some of the
Yeah,
network designs I duct taped together. I mean, there is probably still some
I think if
fairly low-end Cisco switch with a GRE tunnel terminated on it. It's a backup, but if that thing, it had no hardware capability to do that. So it's really going to be ugly if ever it lights up and needs to run. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
if you're, I find that if you're resource starved across the board, um, and the critical one being you don't have time, then I disagree. But if you have time and you can get creative, and time is the critical resource here, then you can go get creative and do interesting things.
Yeah, to me, it kind of felt like a poor excuse from management to not give them, the right opportunity to work on something. You need some form of at least commitment time-wise to be able to be creative. And if you're really stressed out, then it's going to be difficult to be creative.
Terry, I like how you broke down resources there, because I think a lot of us, we instantly start thinking resource wise as in like hardware resources, or do we get the right budgeting? But you got multiple things there. So, if you're looking at like a nonprofit or a really small startup or a smaller company, they don't have the financial resources to handle some of the scenarios or some things that are out there. Other companies might be moving so fast that they just straight up don't have the time resources. And then each of those have different scenarios that you got to consider, and they would come out differently. I think all of them, if you're limited on resources, it's a very double-edged sword. Yeah, you can get very creative, but how is it going to bite you in 5 years, or how is it going to bite you in 6 months? And you got to consider those.
Along those lines, I think too that part of it is company culture as well. With, for instance, if the company you work for is more risk averse, that's going to limit some of the creativity. But another aspect of that too is how forward thinking people are or not.
Or not, yeah.
Yeah, you have to watch out for an organization that classifies itself as lean and mean. Does that mean they're bulimic and angry? I'm not sure you want to work there.
Yeah.